Yes, hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. This is what I wanted. I wanted Arsenal to drop points so our boss could come in and come down to earth, come on our show and discuss some cricket. What a day of cricket we had today. Exceptionally good for someone like me and Don who are supporting the teams that won today. But let's start off with saying, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Apart from the fact that Arsenal drop points, everything else is hunky and dory.
That was the best part of the weekend. But yeah, Don, incredible Sunrisers champions of the SA T20. We'll talk more about that. But the Women's World Cup, I've been following it very closely. I'm watching the Sri Lanka Bangladesh game right now as we speak as well. I'm enjoying it. But India versus Pakistan today, it was a close game and it wasn't as easy. But yeah, your
Absolute
thoughts.
thriller. I mean, just we've seen a lot of India-Pakistan games that have gone close and that have been very well contested. I think one of those games. But I think I'm just glad that India came out on top. Very happy just generally for the team. Good start to their campaign. Been discussions about the togetherness in the team and everything. So I think that they're showing that, and they're showing that they're here to compete. They're here to win this tournament, and hopefully they can go on from strength to strength over here. Special mention for Jemima Rodriguez. I think a couple of years back she got dropped. No real reason for that, and it really kicked her to some sort of reality. And she's come back so well since then, and she's been performing game after game. And she's playing that number three crucial role that Virat plays for the men's Indian cricket team. Which is kind of very very similar as half century winning victory and stuff like that. Reminiscing of the earlier World Cup that we had. Unfortunately, the men's team didn't go all the way, but I'm really hoping that the women can change the
Yeah, and
can change that course.
she was also dropped before the 50 over World Cup, if you remember the last year as well. So like two World Cups she's missed out, and she's only 22. So
Yeah,
bright future ahead, and it was a great partnership. Her and Richa Ghosh, it was touch and power. Jemima finding the gaps and Richa just smashing it. Particularly very strong through the offside. Whether it was the cut or the cover drive, she was at it from ball one today. And it was actually it matched that innings of Aisha Naseem. She batted really well, and actually Pakistan, I felt it was a much improved performance by them. And this team looks stronger than we usually see of Pakistan. The captain Bisma Maroof, stabilizing the ship with an anchoring innings, and then Aisha Naseem actually powerful innings, man. Like I didn't expect them to go close to 150. I thought they'll set 125, 130, but because of that strike rate and just smashing it to all parts, lifted Pakistan to 150.
absolutely. I think Pakistan has to be given, like you said. The women Pakistan cricket team has really never come to the party. They've always been kind of those minnow teams, and to really bring this level of performance out there has been fantastic to see. And hopefully, now they can also really take some encouragement from this kind of a performance that they really ran India close, and they almost won that game. But hopefully, they can take some confidence and move on to the next games. I think the captain has been very good for them. And to your point, Naseem's uh, uh, 43 of 20, I think, or it was,
Yeah,
I think, in the end, really,
crazy strike rate.
brought them down to about that 150 target, which is a very healthy target for them to, give something to their bowlers. But coming back to Richa and Jemima, I think they've done themselves no harm, and they probably added a couple of zeros in their IPL contracts,
Thank you.
because I genuinely believe recency bias is a big
Yeah.
thing in the IPL, and I think just doing it one day before the big auction is probably going to be very very useful for them.
Yeah, good game by girls, but ऐसा नहीं जीत सकते. I think Chirag bhai is pointing out the bowling, especially the fielding.
Overall,
Death opposite वो catch and drop करे उन लोग end में, and they let the score go to a very competitive total actually. Bowling wise as well, I was surprised with Deepti Sharma. I felt that she bowled too full today. Didn't hit that good length often enough, and that's why she was expensive in her first three overs. But yeah, in general, apart from a couple of overs in between, especially when Bisma and Aisha were batting, I felt India didn't stick to their lines and lengths, and the fielding was off as well. And you could see a sense of panic. And even with the bat, with Smithy not there, you didn't want to chase this kind of total. Like, and at least the batters made up for it. But yeah, you would say that it wasn't the most comfortable victory, but a victory
yeah.
is victory against Pakistan. It'll still give them confidence. Smithy comes back and Don, if you notice, the surfaces are going to get slower, man. They're already assisting spin. 150 is a competitive total, so it will suit India to a certain extent as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, I think a lot of today had to do with the fact that there were nerves as well. First big game, India Pakistan. The noise about India Pakistan is always pretty high. So I think it's good that they got this win, even though it wasn't the best of the performances overall. But I think it's just nice that they got the win, and they can get that kind of out of the way, and now they can focus on really improving the aspects of game that are very important, which is the fielding and improving their bowling lines and lengths for sure.
Yeah,
More
no,
work to be done, but I think that they've done a good job so far to get that first game out of the way.
100%. And like I mentioned, like Don mentioned about Jemima, like she had a tough time mentally, was going through a tough time because she did get dropped a few times. I was listening to a podcast actually. I think just a few days ago, she came on one of the shows. I think the Ranveer show. This guy, Beer Biceps, he does like podcasts with like all the celebrities in different. Fields. So she was saying over there that at the end she opened up about it. She said, "Yeah, like I was extremely disappointed and we cried, me and my parents and stuff, but that's how you let it out and then you come back and go strong. I'm still young." And I think that's the thing with her, she's still very young. The best thing about her, Don, that I like is that she plays in different leagues in different conditions, whether it's the Big Bash or the 100, and you could see that experience today. She's still young, but the conditions didn't phase her, the occasion didn't phase her, because she's played in front of big crowds in different conditions, and she's also played with a lot of opposition players as well in these other leagues.
Absolutely. I think that the one thing that the Indian men team is probably missing is the fact that they aren't allowed to play in these different leagues. So, the quality of maybe their players who don't play very regularly, you sometimes see that little bit of a lack of quality. But I think that the likes of Jemima and, some others that who are actually playing consistently through different leagues and for the Indian team very consistently, you see that difference in quality over there. And just kudos to this little girl, man, 22 years of age. She's gone in and been around the scene for a few years now, and she only more to come. I think probably possibilities of the future Indian captain as well. So there's only probably higher targets for her, and I'm very glad for her.
Yes, just take a few comments. Thank you, Chirag Bhai, Ibrahim Bhai, for joining us, and whoever joined us. You make sure you like and subscribe, and please send in your questions and comments. We'll gladly take them. Chirag Bhai saying chasing seems tough on these surfaces, and Ibrahim Bhai agrees with that. He said it'll get slow as end of season here. And I say usually pitches down on the coast do assist spinners towards end of season. And Ibrahim Bhai is in South Africa. He's based over there, so he's telling us like the local conditions and everything. He has a better understanding than us in terms of that, and that's what's going to happen. You can already see at the start of the tournament that it's slow because of the under 19 World Cup. Then you also had the SA T20. You had England tour, so you can already see that the surfaces are starting to deteriorate.
Only Centurion's going to give you those high scoring games. Everywhere else will probably have like problems, like slower pitches in general.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's where I think, these two teams, even Pakistan to a certain extent, can compete in this tournament because they have improved and there is parts over there, but the fielding needs to improve. And fielding was very poor today. Under pressure, again, the bowlers also succumbed. They were bowling too wide outside that off stump. And yeah, the pressure got to them. But I still felt that, over the years I've been watching them, this was a much more improved performance. They would like to see more from Nida Dar. I think she's going to be the star performer with bat and ball. So unfortunately, she got out today early. But yeah, the issue I see with Jami is that she played a lot of dot deliveries. And it was Richa who pulled back the game, and Jami finished it when it was easy, to be honest. Look, the thing is, you can say in hindsight, but that's how the partnership works. A partnership works in these conditions or in these situations. One plays anchor and one plays the power play, and you can say that she bailed her out. That's like a harsh way to look at it. You can still look at it that way. Magar mere liye, I think that she did her job, and there was some shots. She also hit some crucial boundaries, in that fine leg region. I think a couple times jab match phasawa tha, I think it was the second last or third last over, she hit a boundary as well, which was very, not second last, it was third or fourth last over, which she hit a crucial boundary.
Absolutely, I think to your point, the importance of having an anchor kind of go through and finish the game off with everyone else around them in a 150 kind of game where the pitches are a little slow. That is very important that you block one side off and continue to get those single doubles. Also, while someone else is probably hitting, the likes of Richa Ghosh, the likes of Harmanpreet, they're expected to be the aggressors and go out and go score those runs. I think Jamama's role is more, just be the anchor through the openers and through the middle order as well. So I think she played her part very well. And in 150s, 160s kind of game, you need that anchor. You need to make sure that one side is blocked off.
Yeah, she ended with a strike rate of 139, and
Yeah, because she got a few runs in the end.
Yeah, but like you finished with 6 balls to spare. If she took it till the last ball and she finished a strike rate of 110, 105, then you can question her that Richa, like, but she did her job in the end. That's her job, was to anchor and then accelerate in the end. She did that, right? Like, it was the other girl's job to smash it, and she
Yeah.
did that too. So it worked beautifully. I think it was a brilliant combination. There are no games in at the Wanderers and Centurion for the Women's T20 World Cup, as they're being used for the last of the 4-day domestic competition, and SA versus West Indies. Yeah, I think pura Eastern Cape and Western Cape में हो रहे हैं matches, like on the coast, sorry. Markram, यार ये बंदा जब भी कैप्टन बनता है ट्रॉफी जितवाता है. Congratulations Mustafa भाई. Nitin भाई is joining us. क्या बोलते हैं Don? Sunrisers champions. Another trophy to the
Man.
company for the Orange Army, man.
And
It's not
this was touted as the weakest team on the paper, which is the beautiful part of this. Everyone
It
was
was
talking
the
about how
weakest
weak
team. I don't care what Vinay
exactly.
says. It was the weakest team on paper. But yeah,
So
Vander
so
Merv is your highest wicket taker in the tournament, along with Nokia. Like, come on.
bro, but he's a bulldog, bro. What a player! Like, just comes out
Today,
of nowhere. And experience counts. And in these big situations, semi-finals mein jo acha performance, finals mein jo acha performance, just comes out there. And he's also a handy batsman. You haven't really used him much, but he's a handy batsman and a proper all-rounder, man. What a
done.
left-arm spinner.
वो
लाल सा
टीम में
था
कौन थे भाई?
एक्साइटमेंट में.
वो टीम में कौन थे? नोकिया था आज. भाई बैटिंग खत्म ही नहीं हुई. They had like
Bro,
they had
Phil Salt, starter Phil Salt, Riley Russo, Wayne Parnell, who's been very good. They had Nokia.
Colin
खाली
Ingram,
player आते जा रहे. Colin Ingram, who's very, very good.
Adil Rashid,
Oh yeah, the spinners
Kusal
had the Rashid,
Mendes.
but
Bro, too much stuff, man. Orange Army champions, incredible stuff. मुस्तफा भाई, वैंडम मर्व क्या कहोगे उनके बारे में? बोला था ना, इनमें अब भी दम है, अफ्रीका को वापस लाना चाहिए. भाई 38 का अफ्रीका वापस लाएंगे तो कैसा? But he's actually, like, he has an argument now because he was the man of the tournament, man. Vande Merv, incredible stuff.
and he's pretty decent in the field. You don't have to hide him like you have to hide Magala. You can keep him wherever you want, and he'll give you that. At least he'll give you that passion, that excitement. Oh, bhagenga on it. He'll run behind the ball. He's just incredible. He's that kind of player that you need in your team to like pick your team up. When they're going down. ऐसा player है. सबको ले लेके चल रहा था. He literally dragged this team, him and Marco, and I think Markham's in the innings in the semi-finals. But I think these two players really dragged this whole team up. Magala in the beginning when he was getting those wickets after a slowish start. Christian Stubbs, the most expensive player, did jack shit for the Sunrisers throughout the tournament.
He's the undercover for Mumbai Indians. They sent him to see how Markham, the strategies he does and everything like that, so that in the IPL they can counter it. I'm telling you, it's a game plan.
Even unknown prodigy in Russington, who scored like 2 very important 50s through the course of the tournament, when it was absolutely essential. That just changes it. He's never going to get a chance for the English team,
man.
Yeah.
Kya chhakke, mother, talk, like incredible. Pami was saying that, I wouldn't say just yet that they have one hand on the trophy. Then he hits a six. KP's like, no, I think they have one hand. Then he hits another six. He's like, one hand and one finger. Then another six, like one hand and four fingers. So the way he was smashing it was incredible, man, today, Rossington. Power pack.
He's never going to get a chance for the English side. That is an unfortunate thing that I guess this is the beauty of this league cricket that we are seeing. Someone who's probably never going to see play in the English side, but still doing an important role for the Sunrisers and winning the trophy for them. But I think 2 or 3 very good performances, decent wicket keeper, very handy player in general. Like the experience of him also playing in different leagues kind of helped maybe a little bit. And now he's going to get more chances, I think, as an opening kind of wicket keeper batsman in some of these other leagues that are going around the place. There's a PSL, there's the Bangladesh Premier League. You keep playing on those kind of surfaces, you become a better player in the subcontinent kind of conditions, and then you're an all-round player that can be very useful. So overall, I think it was very individual performances that helped Sunrisers through the course of the tournament. There wasn't really a team that played, but overall, I think just very, very thrilled. As a Orange Army fan, nothing makes me happier than just seeing the Orange Army pick up the trophy. And with the way they started and with the way we spoke about it as well, it looked a little difficult because they weren't getting that combination right. But the moment Vander Merv comes in and he brings in that little bit of stability, Marco Janssen's 60 odd of 30 against Mumbai when we were in the trenches. There were so many single fantastic individual brilliant moments that gets you here. A little bit more coordination in the next tournament, a little bit more of trying to get that team together in the next tournament. But very, very
They
happy
need to
just in
take some
general.
players from Mumbai, the MI Cape Town, man. पूरे उन लोग प्लेयर लेके बैठे उधर. आर्चर बेंच पे बैठ रहा, रबाडा भी उनके पास, इन्हें भी है, उन्हें भी है, पूरे प्लेयर तो वहां बैठे हुए.
अब मालूम नहीं कैसा रहता. I don't know if there's like a tournament auction again, how they're planning to do the second season, but we'll have to see. But I think this reminds me of the 2008 IPL World Cup when Rajasthan Royals was completely like the team that they played with. They had a team, but they didn't have any of the stars. Whereas someone like Hyderabad had like everybody in the book and finished last. So it's
Finished
almost
last,
similar kind of situation. So just very, very happy that the Orange Army was able to win a trophy. And after 2016, this is another good moment for the Orange Armies.
Yeah, I told you before, right after the auction, that Markram should captain Hyderabad. I'm going to ask you this question again because you had a different answer. Should Markram captain Hyderabad this season?
See, he's done himself no harm by this. He's actually made his case very, very, very strong. मेरे को एक ही problem है. There is just one problem. I have a problem with who's my wicketkeeper in this Sunrisers Hyderabad side. That's my only issue. Everything else works for me. So if I'm playing Marco Jansen, Adil Rashid, Harry Brooks, then how am I going to play Markram? How am I going to drop Harry Brooks because he's charged? He's 13.5 crores. I think you're going to play him every game.
Who they don't have Indian keeper, huh?
No one is there. No, you are playing Washi. Sorry, you're playing Abhishek Sharma, Mayank Agarwal, Rahul Tripathi as your top three, right? Then
Glenn Phillips has to play.
Glenn Phillips or Klaasen will have to play at 4. So then how do you bring in a Markram? Either you drop Harry Brooks to bring in a Markram.
भाई उन्हें चारों ओवर भी डाल दे रहा and captaincy भी देखो कितना जबरदस्त.
So then the only other option you have is then you have to drop Marco.
Jansen.
And you play an extra Marco Jansen.
I think
and then you play an extra pace bowler. Because then you you play Mayank, Abhishek Sharma and Tripathi top 3. You play Markram at 4. You play Phillips at 5. You play Harry Brooks at 6. You play Washi at 7. Then you have to play Bhuvi, Nattu, Malik and Adil Rashid. Because Adil Rashid is your spinner. You need him also. Or you play Marco and then you try Mayank Markande. But I think you should play Adil Rashid. So that's the only 5% doubt that I have. If does Markram get... Because I think Harry Brooks is an all-round option that you have to keep. Adil Rashid is your spinner that you have to keep. So then it becomes a problem between your wicketkeeper and then Marco. So that's the only doubt I have right now.
I still have a couple of months to decide. Matlab, things can change, injuries can happen, form can change. There's thing, but I just feel उन्हें bowling भी जबरदस्त बेहतरीन करा आज भी Markram. 100%. He's turning the ball on Indian pitches. He'll be lethal, especially against the left-hander. He'll be a good matchup in the power play. Batting भी 100 मार दिया. More importantly, captaincy. I think he is your captain. I don't see any other captain in that team. Mayank Agarwal पंजाब के साथ कुछ खास नहीं करा. Bhuvneshwar Kumar has already captained. I don't think and he's towards the end of his career. I don't think he's the choice.
He might not play all games also. Same problem.
Yeah.
Because you have Karthik Tyagi who's sitting in the ranks, who's a decent bowler, so he might have... So the toss-up is between Mayank and Markram. Now it depends on Brian Lara's mind. But the thing is...
He was also there, so he's also watching.
Exactly. And Sanjay Bangar and Dale Steyn. Dale Steyn and Sanjay Bangar are sitting there, who are already part of this coaching staff also.
And Hemang Badani was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said Sanjay Bangar. Who? Sanjay? Why?
Sorry. Hemang Badani and Dale Steyn.
Yeah. South African cricket का future अच्छा होगा if Markram is the captain, पूछ रहे हैं साहिब भाई.
White ball mein there's a case. He's making a very good case because Temba Bavuma, yes, no, maybe ka situation ho ja raha uska, but he played well in the ODIs. So maybe start Markram off in the T20 as a captain, and then once Bavuma is settling down or towards the end of his career, you bring in Markram over there because Markram is not that old. If I'm not wrong, I think he still has 5-6 good years of cricket left in him.
He's like 27, 28 now. I think 28. He's like a couple of years younger to us.
So 33, 34 is probably fair. Like you play pretty high competitive cricket till 33, 34. Then maybe you kind of decline. So you have 5 years. If he's 28, then you have 6 good years left in him. So you bring him in as a mainstay player, white ball captain in T20 cricket or whatever, and then you stick with him for 5 years, and maybe he produces results and breaks that curse that South Africa has in ICC tournaments. Let's see.
But like again, this was a domestic tournament. Captaining South Africa in a World Cup, अलग ही situation रहता है. उन लोगों का पूरा pressure अलग रहता है. वो tag chokers का लग जाता है. यहाँ पे he didn't have much pressure because first of all he didn't have a star-studded team. He he had like proper control over the team. He was the probably the superstar if you think of it. He didn't have anyone to handle. Harry Brook was also in Mumbai, I think, MI Cape Town, right? He was in another team. He didn't play, but I think he was in another team. So he didn't have any superstars thing, and he handled it up. South Africa captaincy is a different thing. Politics aate, you have the the quota system and all that, so it'll be different. And also, Don, I just wanted to give an update from the World Cup. Bangladesh have made 126, I think. 127 is the target for Sri Lanka. It might be a low-scoring affair again. Let's see what Bangladesh do. Also, yesterday, England won comfortably against the West Indies. And Australia Ashley Gardner, man, another all-rounder. I was talking about Talia Magra, I was talking about Elisa Perry, but Ashley Gardner picks up like 4 wickets, proper off-spin bowling, and they have spinners as well, man. They have horses for courses. Every condition Australia has sorted.
Absolutely. I think Australia is obviously going into this tournament again as favorites. There's no denying that. But bringing in a player who comes in and bowls off spin, handy off spin, that again does no harm for her IPL contract. I think she's added another 0 or so in her IPL contract over there. The only thing I'm looking forward to, like the IPL auction this time around, is because Hyderabad is not in it, and I can really focus on analyzing a proper, well-set team, because I have a bias towards Hyderabad. जितना भी खराब टीम ले लो, जितना भी अच्छा टीम ले लो, I find a playing 11 or playing 15 for the Hyderabad side. So this time I can really focus on analyzing who's done a good job and who's done probably a relatively poor job. But I'm looking forward to seeing what these teams bring in, because it's completely new. When it's fresh like this, no one has any kind of skin in the game. I think it's just nice to see how this plays out. I just want some of the other teams to be smart, and I don't want Mumbai to go in and pick up all the stars again. I just want some smartness from other sides. But because of the fact that Bangalore and Delhi and these guys have been in the business for a while, I'm hoping that they do a decent job as well.
Mustafa bhai, under 19 captain uthaya Markham ne. Yeah, I know that. I think which tournament that was in Dubai, was it? I think it was
the only tournament in the middle of all of these India tournaments that South Africa won. I think it was 9 years
Even
back.
West Indies won one. They beat India in the final, and West Indies beat Rishabh Pant, Ishan Kishan, dono team mein the. And Avesh Khan, I think, was opening the bowling, if I'm not mistaken, in that one.
Yeah.
Whereas Faiz bhai, Africa League की 11 बनानी है भाई 11 में देखो मार्करम पक्का है, वैंडम में पक्का है, यानसन पक्का है, रॉसिंगटन को भी घुसा दो उसमें, 4 हो गया आपके यहाँ पे सनराइजर्स पे. Then I think this Pretoria Capitals also deserves some players. I think Parnell
100%, very good overall.
Adar Rashid तो सनराइजर ही है, तो उसको भी लगा लो, तो 6 यहाँ पे हो गए. But हाँ बैठ के करेंगे
we'll make a full team, and we'll put it on our channel. So do look out for it.
SL beating SA, yeah, that was shocking. Me and Faiz discussed that. I think Richa Ghosh has doubled her price for the auction. Absolutely,
100%.
She's 19 years old. Okay, she's a wicket keeper, and she is a powerful
gun batsman. Yeah,
batswoman. I would like to correct you,
batter.
I changed now. I only say batter.
Gun batter.
नहीं ओपनर नहीं रॉसिंगटन नहीं ओपनर फाफ होगा नहीं कौन जीता टूर्नामेंट वो देखो आप पहले
हमारा यहाँ पे बायस हमेशा रहेगा.
But yeah, I think auction. Let's talk about that auction, because we're in the World Cup fever also, and I would recommend whoever has not been watching the Women's World Cup, please do watch it. It's a lot of fun. Today's game was exceptional. Like I know 1 over se jeete India, but phas gaya tha game. And back to back dawn, like first Sunrisers and Man United was playing, and then India back to back. Like but I think apart from the Sunrisers game, pure phase hue matches the. So. Yeah, I would recommend everyone to follow the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. But if we talk about that auction, we know Adani is there, Ambani is there. There's a Gujarat team. There is Ahmedabad. I think Ahmedabad franchise and a Mumbai franchise. Who is going? I think these two will have the top, top buys. But give me your top 5 buys going into the auction.
I mean, like you said, I think someone who's with the experience of like the Ambani, who's been there in the business for about 15 years now, understands all the details of it, all the nitty-gritties of it. Probably they come out a little bit stronger. Someone like a Bangalore, someone like a Delhi. My only thing with the Adani group of team is probably that they're newer franchise here, first time in this business, so they'll probably be a little bit excited. They might do a few things here and there. That might not really be the causes for horses kind of a situation. So let's see. I think Indian players. I think Ellis Perry probably with the Australian. I think Talo Magra, because she's again
On the
an
foreign,
absolute
yeah.
and on the foreign front. But I think overall, I think Indian players, the likes of Smriti Mandhana, the likes of Harmanpreet Kaur, the likes of Jemima, Richa Ghosh, Deepti Sharma, these guys, who've been in the Indian setup for a few years now, have been doing well for themselves, have done no harm, especially Jemima and Richa Ghosh right now. Harmanpreet Kaur is captain
Yeah,
material. Smriti Mandhana is captain material. So,
yeah.
you're looking at your captain options as well.
Captain,
Alice Perry is your captain option. So,
brand also, because I was thinking like maybe Richa Ghosh might be very expensive, Deepti Sharma because you do utility players. I thought they will be more expensive, but Smriti, Harmanpreet, these girls are brands. So
yeah.
like not only there'll be a captain, there'll be batter, and there'll be like the whole marketing strategy will be focused on them. That's what franchises look at as well. It's not just the cricketing side of things.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if Smriti Mandhana goes for very, very big money to a Bangalore, because Bangalore focuses on these kind of brand value
She's from there
players and
also.
stuff like that. She's probably from there. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, that is what is important for like someone like a Bangalore that focuses on this Virat Kohli brand, AB de
Yeah.
Villiers brand, and they could. And we've heard people like Chris Gale say that Bangalore doesn't focus on their other players. It's everything is about Virat, everything's about AB. But that's how they play their cricket.
She's
That's the
from
way they
Mumbai.
are,
Sorry.
and that's
Yeah.
why they make their money. So so those are the kind of things that will happen. And I would not be surprised if Smriti goes for big money to Bangalore. The only good thing about this is that there is a cap. They have to be smart about it. They have to be very smart in the way they pick their players, because not only need to buy the 11, they need to buy a few others that can be very handy kind of utility players as well. So it's just going to be fun to see Shifali Verma, who we've not spoken about, gun opener. She can come in and change the game on her day. Someone like a Prithvi Shaw kind of a player she is. So um, there's a lot there is that we can talk about, but I think it's just exciting to have auction after auction. And we saw the South Africa T20 auction. The men team happened in December. Now we have the women team. Then we have the cricket to look forward to. So just like excited overall.
Yeah, what a game. Was there live? I was there live. Amazing atmosphere at the ground. Capitals had the majority crowd. Sunrise was just too good for them today. Ibrahim Bhai was at the stadium today. Incredible, man. You witnessed a great franchise winning another trophy. Sunrisers two in the cabinet now, huh?
I think for the Eastern Cape guys, I'm very happy just for the fans that have gone out there and supported their team through thick and thin. They started very poorly at home, but the team was out there. They were shouting, they were singing, they were dancing for the Sunrisers. The whole stadium was orange. I'm very happy for that crowd, and I think Hyderabad
And
in general
what was
can.
the name of that city? Can you pronounce it?
Eastern Cape. No. Sunrisers
Sabah.
Eastern Cape.
Sabah.
Sunrisers Eastern Cape. But I just want to say, I think that crowd. I think Hyderabad, Sunrisers
Need to
Hyderabad
learn.
team can learn a thing or two from them,
Yeah, they
because
were passionate. Pura orange tha
support
wo.
is very important.
Yeah, and today they were, dominated. There wasn't many Sunrisers fans like Ibrahim Bhai said. Like, the team performed, and Van der Merwe, the man, I can't believe you saw that live. The wickets that he got, man, the bowls and the stumping and everything, just incredible the way he was beating the bat. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm so happy for that. You got to witness that, Mr. Ibrahim Bhai. Mandana, Lisa Perry, Tahlia, Ghosh, Shifali. So, Shifali Verma also a good shout. I think. He didn't put Harmanpreet. She might go for a lot of money, but I think he's gone for like all-rounders, utility players. You get that with Elisa Perry, you get that with Talia Magra, you get that with Ghosh as well, and Shifali can bowl as well. So yeah, fair enough. मुझे भाई इंडियन टीम सेमीफाइनल में जाके हार कि नहीं है यार इंडियन टीम में दम देखो आज रस्टी परफॉर्मेंस था like if I thought it wasn't a great performance. It's two batters who bailed you out, लेकिन भाई डिटोरिएट होने वाला है पिच एंड MS धोनी की भी टीम उतनी खास नहीं थी 2007 में और उन लोग ट्रॉफी लिफ्ट करे उसमें पाकिस्तान को हराए थे पहला मैच में बोल आउट आज सुबह वो नहीं हुआ मगर हराए पाकिस्तान को. It's in South Africa. उम्मीद रखो आप. And I'm telling you, I think they can challenge the other. They need to take their catches. They can challenge Australia and England because of the pitches. That's what I'm saying. And also now experience here. If you're gonna keep losing from winning positions, then only God can help you. I think this time they'll have a good chance. I'm hoping. I'm more than thinking. Walaikum salam. Shukriya बहुत for joining, Mr. Muhammad Azam. Do you know what's the purse size for the auction? I think it's 12 CR.
15.
15?
15, if I'm not wrong. If I read it somewhere, I have to recheck, but we'll check.
The player would start at 12 crore in 2023, increase to 13.5 in 2024, and 15 in 2025.
So maybe I'm talking about 2 years later. Sorry, but 12 now.
I think it's 12 crore. Yeah. Even I read this on other sources as well. ये आगे भाई इतने बड़े मैच में स्मिति को कैसे ड्रॉप कर सकते हैं? नहीं ड्रॉप नहीं करे. उंगली में इंजरी उंगली में इंजरी आ गया था. She'll come back hopefully for the second game.
So small injury, she missed out. Yeah, missed out on injury.
केएल राहुल खेल रहा है, इनको ड्रॉप करेंगे? नहीं ऐसा नहीं होगा. How much do you think teams will be willing to pay as purse as 12 crore? That's a good question.
See, they have to bring in 18 players. So no, you can't have more than one or two, maybe 2 CR kind of players, because you have to fill your team in as well. Because I think the highest bid player will probably be 2.5 crores. Someone like a Mandana might get about 2.5. Someone like an Elise Perry might get about 2. Because it'll depend on when they come into the auction. There's a lot of combinations you have to manage over there as well. So there's going to be those aspects of when the player comes in, and if you've bid a big amount of money for someone, then you have to let go of someone else. There's going to be those things. But I think that probably your 2.5 will be your big kind of your highest bid in tomorrow's auction, I think, because you have to fill in about 18-20 players in the team, and you need to give everyone at least about a half a CR to kind of fight yourself through there. I'd say 3. I don't think anything is going to happen more than 3. 3 is going to be your highest bid tomorrow.
So the ceiling is low this time around. The ceiling
correct, because with due respect, I think the men's team get about 90 CR, so you can go about that 18-20 to get that team. But here, I think because of your thing, your ceilings will be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, because you don't have that purse. Hello, out of context question from today: is Virat fading away from the team because of performances and especially test matches? Is Virat going to make a comeback in this series?
100% Lara, bro. Just wait and watch.
I mean, I haven't seen a Virat Kohli 100 on a turning pitch for a while, I think. But if the pitch is good on day 1, day 2, he'll score 100. I think Virat Kohli is that kind of thing. On a turning pitch, I've only seen Rohit Sharma, Steve Smith. Maybe you can correct me, but I haven't seen Virat Kohli. But if there's something if there's a good pitch to bat on, he will score 100. Even on a turning pitch, maybe that's a challenge that he wants, because we've seen him do on green tops in England and South Africa and New Zealand. So yeah, Virat Kohli, you never want to doubt him.
If the Aussies don't have a debut bowler, he'll score a century. When a debut bowler को chance देता बेचारा, everyone thinks अरे मैं विराट का wicket लिया, ऐसा Todd Murphy के लिए ऐसा हुआ, that's it. Don't worry about it.
But that shot, the one thing I will say, it's a positive that the shot was horrible.
Yeah, Puji and Virat both should be very, very upset with the way they got out. दोनों leg side पे वो है.
But I tell you why it's a positive. Because it wasn't a weakness. It wasn't a weakness. It was just a stupid shot. So they can play on these pitches. They just need to be a bit more particular. मुस्तफा भाई, मैं लीग मैच ज्यादा नहीं देखता, बट अफ्रीका लीग में मैं काफी मजा आया है. बहुत जबरदस्त लीग था. डॉन जो मेंशन करे, क्राउड्स भी आ रहे थे, राइट? आके सब सपोर्ट कर रहे थे. फुल कैपेसिटी स्टेडियम्स थे एंड मोस्ट ओकेशंस. आज भी आप देखो, उन लोग डिले करे. वेरी स्मार्ट बाय द ऑर्गेनाइजर्स. यस्टरडे वाज द फाइनल. बारिश पड़ी थी. They didn't try to squeeze any overs. They cancelled it before a ball was bowled. And today the sun was shining. They kept it early. It was earlier than normal, and it was a Sunday. Everyone came to watch, and everyone had a lot of fun. So yeah, I think they organized very well. Harman will go for a decent amount, but she's 33. Might be a factor for not bidding aggressively.
Yeah, I think she won't be the highest bidder, but she'll be in the top few for sure, and she'll get a good bid because she's your captain.
Because you also want to utilize her brand right now as well. Even if she has maybe a couple of years in her, you want to utilize that. And
she probably
if she lives
3 years.
Yeah. I'll tell you something. It's a gamble, but I would go for her because if she lifts the World Cup, that's it. मैं खाली छाप रहा हूँ, इधर उधर marketing तो game next level रहेगा if she's in my team. and she's the captain, of the thing. First Indian captain to. It's a gamble because you don't know if she's going to win the World Cup, but I would take that gamble.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I do. Arey, bhai, you don't need to apologize. That's why you're here. That's why you're here to discuss. Even we don't know a lot of things. Like, we learn from each other. Unfortunately, I watched the match highlights. It's good that you saw it. And Ami ko leke hospital gaya tha. I hope everything is okay.
Please share highlights in comments. You want to see good highlights.
You want to see, especially Sunrisers. If anyone can find, Don really wants to see the highlights again. 1.5 to 2 will be the highest since this is a big auction. Yeah, fair enough, because there's a lot of players involved in it. So it might be thing. Yeah,
bro, I have to leave, but I have a quick question to you before I leave, which is not related to any sport at all.
I know you're gonna talk about Big Boss.
Who's the winner, bro?
I don't know, man. Don't spoil it for me. Now, everyone's gonna say, I thought this year I'll get away with it, but for sure, comment में आप कोई बोलेंगे तुम मेरे लेके रखे तुम लेके ऐसा. I thought this is the first time because I'm not in Canada, so I can watch it a bit closer to Indian timing. मगर भाई हमारे has thing, and Pathan was also spoiled on this stream. Someone told me Salman Khan is coming in.
Bro, so I'm just telling you, if anyone knows the winner, please put it on the comments. I want Musti to know before he watches it. And finish the matches now. Watch Big Boss, then get ready for the Super Bowl.
I don't watch. I stopped watching Super Bowl because it's only ads, man. Like,
bro, Rihanna's concert is there, bro. Halftime.
Which one?
Rihanna.
Yeah, halftime. I said I won't watch Super Bowl. Halftime, I always was Lazim. I put an alarm for halftime. Halftime is the Super Bowl. I don't watch like the actual football. I'll watch the thing. I stopped watching NFL, I think 10 years ago because too much timeouts.
7 million for 1 ad, bro. What more?
Don, where are you going, man? Don't go like this, man. People are joining here to see you. Where are you going, man?
I have to go. I have a commitment. I apologize.
No. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. And I will catch you soon, boss. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. So that was the owner of our channel taking leave. And I'm still with you guys. So जो भी सवाल है comment से भेजते रहिए please. And मैं हूँ अभी और 10-15 मिनट आप लोगों के साथ. भाई अभी अनाउंस नहीं हुआ. हाँ अच्छा है, प्लीज नको बोलो मेरे को, मैं देखना चाह रहा हूँ रात में. मैंने मेरी जिंदगी में आज तक मैंने एपिसोड भी नहीं देखा बिग बॉस का. देखना चाहिए भाई, बेस्ट शो है. रोज कुछ ना कुछ एंटरटेनमेंट होता है. इफ इंडिया विंस द वर्ल्ड कप देन Harman Star. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I think you have to take that gamble as a franchise that if you invest your money on the captain of India and she lifts the title, that's it. Like, the brand value, the marketing and everything will, blow up for that team. So I think you'll have to think about it. These franchises will need to think about it. And yeah, also let me know which franchise the highest bid which franchise will put the highest bid and who will have the most expensive player. Van Merv is playing for Netherlands now as he left South Africa 4 years ago. Yeah, I know he's playing for Netherlands. He even it was Tendescotter who used to play for Netherlands as well. I think Nanes also returned to Netherlands after playing for Australia. And he's 38 right now. Just the consistency that he's bowled with in this tournament today also, the line in length, and he came at a time, I think he bowled the third over if I'm not mistaken. At that time the run rate was 12, and there was that no ball that Magala bowled, and they were running away with it, but he came and bowled with such accuracy in the power play with the new ball. It goes to show it's just not the pitches that is helping him. He actually has the control and accuracy. So incredible man from Van der Merwe. I really enjoyed the way he played. I didn't expect that. अगर मेरे को अगर पूछे तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि SRH, Eastern Cape had the weakest, spinners and stuff, but he proved me wrong. He bowled so well. Him and Markram, who would have thought, those two spinners will be the most lethal in the tournament, will be in the championship winning team. So really happy for them. Also, let me know what you guys think about India's performance today against Pakistan. Of course, there were mistakes, in the field. There were mistakes with the ball as well. I felt, who also impressed me from Pakistan, Aisha Naseem. I mentioned her before as a player to watch out for, but she really impressed me again. The ability to clear the rope, sensational. The strike rate was outstanding, and she gave her captain confidence as well. Bisma Maroof played really well. I felt what Bisma Maroof was doing good was that she was playing that sweep shot and toying with the spinners, didn't let the spinners settle in, and then Aisha just was smashing the ball to all parks. And actually, India at one stage were under pressure, not only with the ball, with the bat as well. After Hamanpreet got out, it was a tough equation on this kind of pitch, but what's her name, Richa Ghosh and Jemima just kept their calm. They held their nerve and batted beautifully. They'll have to improve though. India, they will have to improve. Their death bowling needs to improve. Their fielding has to improve. They have to take their catches. I feel batting wise as well, you need to rotate the strike a bit more. And good thing that India has, which they didn't have before, they have a proper finisher now, who is a young wicket keeper who is not scared of any occasion, and that will really help them. भाई अब बता दे रहे हैं विनर कौन है, लूजर कौन है, छोड़ दो भाई नितिन भाई, क्रिकेट के बारे में बात करो, क्रिकेट या कुछ भी बात करो, वो मत बोलो मुझे. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts were on the game today, from that perspective. I'm just checking the score of Sri Lanka 25 for 2 in 5.1 overs. They're chasing 127 against Bangladesh. Who knows? Maybe Bangladesh win this game and blow the table wide open. That will be a lot of fun. And that gives South Africa a chance as well, because if they defeat Bangladesh, they'll be back in the reckoning. I think so far South Africa has been disappointing for me. I felt they should have beaten Sri Lanka. They had the home crowd behind them. They have some very talented players. They just didn't live up to the expectation. You could say that they choked under pressure and chasing again. They just didn't get the job done, and I think that was poor from them. Australia and England, they look solid. They look very, very solid. It will take a great individual performance to beat them, or just like a team on their day getting some luck or something like that. It'll be difficult, because if you see Australia, they're packed with all-rounders. Even England, to a certain extent, the way they bumped Sophia Dunkley as the opening batter, I found that such a good move, because she was batting lower down the order in the 50-over World Cup. Now she's opening the batting, and she is making the most of the power play. Aggressive baseball खेल रही होने, मतलब ले बशीर दे बशीर ball one से. IL T20 final भी हुआ. Gulf won. Yeah, the Gulf Giants won. I think it was Chris Lynn who hit a 70. And the congratulations to them. They won. It was a comfortable chase in the end. Hasaranga from the other side for the Desert Vipers scored a 50, but to get them to some sort of competitive score, but it was always going to be tough to defend that score. Bhai Salman stage पे ले आया है top 2 को. आप लोग क्या बात है, बिग बॉस भी देख रहे हो, मुझे भी देख लो. आई एम वेरी ऑनर्ड, आई एम सो ऑनर्ड एंड टच्ड that you guys are doing that. I feel that you're going to spoil it for me. Should I leave the stream now? I don't know. But yeah, I guess it's inevitable. You guys are going to tell me who's going to win. I don't want to know, but it's fine. टॉप टू कौन है भाई स्टेज पे? नितिन भाई तो पहले बोले शिव जीत रहे हैं वो. यू आर जस्ट गिविंग फेक न्यूज. हाँ, डोंट टेल मी. But yeah, I was talking about Australia and England. I feel they're very strong, two very strong sides in this tournament, and it'll be very difficult to beat them. And a lot of all-rounders. The way Ashley Gardner bowled yesterday, bowled on that length, was getting the ball to turn. It's worrying signs for oppositions, because you say subcontinent teams have an advantage of spinners, but she's shown that she's spinning it. Her and Alana King both, I think, will cause problems for opposition, the two quality spinners. Then they have fast bowlers, whether it's Lisa Perry, they have Megan Shutt, they have very good fast bowlers, and Megan Shutt was getting the ball to swing a lot yesterday. The ball coming in particular was troubling the New Zealand batters, and as the tournament progresses, they will be lethal. So yeah, I think these two right now are the teams to watch out for. India's point of view, the Ahmedabad team for women's IPL will be known as Gujarat Giants, and Lucknow team will be known as UP Warriors. I think the Gujarat Giants, Gulf Giants, and is it the same owner? I don't. I was reading something. I don't remember. But Lucknow team will be known as UP Warriors. Okay, that's good to know. And I think Gujarat Giants will have they'll get a lot of players, because they're the most expensive franchise, if I'm not mistaken. The Gujarat Giants doesn't make sense at all. Oh, what are you talking about? Doesn't make sense, Chirag bhai? Are you talking about the team names or? अच्छा, नितिन भाई बोल रहे मैं कंफ्यूज रहूंगा, नहीं बताएंगे. शुक्रिया भाई. नितिन भाई, आपके लिए प्लेयर ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट कौन था ऐसे T20 में? बिकॉज आप गौर से देखें तो आप बताएं कौन है आपके लिए प्लेयर ऑफ द tournament. मेरे लिए it was Van der Merwe. Yes, same owners as Gulf Giants. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. And they have the most expensive team. And if I'm not mistaken, the Gujarat Titans are not owned by them. I always thought they were owned by them, but they're not. They're owned by another business. Lucknow team should continue the name. I think the owner is different, Chirag bhai. That's why. Wo jo Lucknow Super Giants is the Goenka group, right? And LSG, the Sanjeev Goenka, and that's why it's called LSG. He said a story ki the little girl came up to me and said, should name it Super Giant. It wasn't like that. It's his initials. That's why they're called Super, LSG. Before it was Rising Pune Super Giants as well. They were also Super Giants, and that's the reason SG, because of his initials. So that is the trick over there. He owned the Rising Pune Super Giants, and then now he owns the Lucknow Super Giants. I think this Lucknow team is owned by someone else, and Ibrahim bhai, you can please be confirmed with me. But yeah, also guys, the auction, let me know what the time it is, IST, if you can tell me. I'm not exactly sure what the time is. We will come straight after. Hopefully Faiz bhai will also join us, and we will analyze all the players who have been bought and to which teams, and how the team balance is looking like. I think in general, because of the purse, the teams will be more balanced out. You won't see one team stronger than way stronger than another, because everyone has an even amount of money to distribute to pay. Adani also bought a team, right? Yeah, that's the team, the Gujarat Giants. That's Adani's team. He owns the Gulf Giants also in the IL-T20. So, and they bought it it was the most expensive franchise, Chirag, by the Gujarat Giants. So yeah, that's his team, Adani. Just updating, Sri Lanka have lost another wicket. It's 28 for 3, 6 overs. This is going to be a very tricky chase. And I think you're right. Who mentioned it? One of the lads mentioned in the comments that, chasing is difficult in this tournament. I think Sai Bhai or someone mentioned it. And it looks like chasing is difficult. Even India today almost had an issue chasing. And again, in this game, Bangladesh causing problems for Sri Lanka. दिल्ली का ओनर प्लेयर प्राइस बढ़ाएगा. दिल्ली है इसमें. दिल्ली कैपिटल्स हैव अ फ्रैंचाइज. आई डोंट नो. आरसीबी है, गुजरात है, लखनऊ है, मुंबई है. Is Delhi also there? Maybe, yeah. I think Kolkata Sunrisers are not there. Yes, Lucknow team is different owners. I think they own Lucknow Kabaddi team as well. Okay, good to know. Yeah, so when you go into this auction, there will be recency bias. They're going to look at these players. Maybe like Ashley Gardner goes for a good price. She might be bought. Elisa Healy for sure. From the foreign players, also I'm thinking Eccleston from England, very good shout. Nat Skiver, very good shout. Great all rounder, vice captain of the England team, very experienced. I think she's a good shout as well. They should watch out for her. Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Lucknow. Okay. Bangalore, I know. Ahmedabad, Lucknow, Mumbai. Delhi is the other team. I wasn't sure. So yeah, okay. Delhi. Yeah, अगर उन्हें तो खाली रेस करते जाएंगा. Delhi Capitals का जो owner रहता, he always raises the price. He's very cheeky and smart. Actually, that's the way to do as well. To put pressure on the opposition on the auction table itself and say ki bhai, we're not letting anyone go for free. Sometimes it can be a risky strategy, because agar dusri team don't put up the paddle in the end, then you have to pay that amount. Yeah, it's a fun strategy, I think. So let's see what happens. Excited for the auction. I think it should be good fun with the World Cup also going on. It's good timing in that way, because we're watching the players now, and maybe if you did it just before, also it would have been okay. But I think the fact that we've seen one round, we've seen most of the teams play now, I think you have a good idea. The owners will have a good idea who to invest in, who not to invest in. Also, you have to take conditions into consideration as well. You're going to be playing in India, which might be similar to the surfaces right now in South Africa, but yeah, the conditions will be slightly different. So maybe you'll get some good batting wickets at times as well in India. So they'll have to take that into consideration. Overall, let me know who was your man of the match for that India-Pakistan game. I'm going with Richa Ghosh, I think, because the tempo which she played at the run, the strike rate, and she made sure that she brought that run rate down. Of course, Jemima played really well. Chirag bhai was saying she only upped the run rate because she hit the 3-4s towards the end, but I still feel that was important. If she didn't do that, then it'll go to the last over, then there'll be more pressure. So I think she batted to her role, but Richa's innings for me was the match-winning one, so I would give her the man of the match. And from the Sunrisers game, I think Vandermeer, because they were going at a good pace, and he just came in the power play and turned things, and he continued to put the pressure on. Even in the death overs, he pulled the 18th over, 17th over, and he picked up 2 wickets there as well. So Vandermeer for me was the man of the match in the SA T20. Overall, that was a really good league. I think the main thing was कि आप crowds पूरे आ रहे थे, just shows कि cricket is the second most popular sport in South Africa, and everyone came out. It was good weather. It was the summer over there. A lot of people enjoyed. So I think it was a hit tournament. I really enjoyed watching it. Hope you guys also enjoyed it. And for the World Cup wise, for the T20 World Cup wise as well, make sure to watch the games. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, we might see an upset today with Bangladesh beating Sri Lanka. We don't know if you would call it an upset or not, but it's a good game. Right now, the required rate is 7.31 for Sri Lanka. They've already lost 3 wickets, so वो भी अच्छा game है. और कोई भी सवाल comments है तो please भेजिए, and then I'll wrap up in a few minutes. It's been a good session. We had Don also earlier joining us, and he gave his thoughts on the tournament and who's on both Sunrisers victory and India's victory. He also mentioned the IPL auction and who's going to go for a whopping price. बट या कोई भी सवाल है तुम बताइए, नहीं तो मैं इजाजत लूंगा. और कल ऑक्शन के बाद हम जुड़ेंगे, तो नितिन भाई, चिराग भाई, साई भाई, इब्राहिम भाई, जो भी जुड़े आज हमारे साथ, प्लीज जुड़िए. कल ऑक्शन के बाद विल हैव अ लाइव रिएक्शन टू द ऑक्शन. विल डिस्कस दैट, एंड देयर विल बी अ फ्यू वर्ल्ड कप गेम्स गोइंग ऑन एज वेल, सो वी कैन टॉक अबाउट दैट एज वेल एंड डिस्कस कि क्या होने वाला है वर्ल्ड कप में. बट प्लीज जॉइन अस आफ्टर द ऑक्शन. It'll be a lot of fun. I think मैं इजाजत ले लूंगा. Take care, guys. Just a quick roundup. Sunrisers are champions of the SA T20. India have beaten Pakistan. Right now, Bangladesh are competing against Sri Lanka, and they have a low score to defend, but they're doing a good job. It should be a close tournament. क्या टॉड मर्फी competition for Lion in Australia playing 11 in future? देखिए, एक गेम पे आप नहीं बोल सकते, लेकिन टॉड मर्फी is the future because Nathan Lyon is towards the end of his career. We don't know how many years he will play. So Todd Murphy, they have a good replacement. Again, also we have to see how Todd Murphy will bowl in other conditions as well, because Lyon, not only in Australia and India, he was good in he's been good in England, he's been good in South Africa, he's been good in other conditions as well. So let's see what Todd Murphy does. But yeah, definitely I think Lion thoda India mein struggle kar raha hai abhi, and Todd Murphy is doing well, so all eyes will be on him. But I think yahi series mein aap dekh lo कि Nathan Lyon will come back. I think he'll come back strong. कुछ controversy भी हुआ, मैं सुना आज सुबह में they wanted to go practice the Australian team in Nagpur, and they took permission yesterday, मगर फिर water कर दिया pitches को, nets पे भी कुछ पानी डाल दिया, and there was no practice. So I don't know if there's mind games going on between the groundsman and the Australian team. Have you heard Australia have called up another spinner in place of Swepson, who's going out due to birth of his first child? Yeah, he's a left-arm spinner, right? If I'm not mistaken, I forgot his name. So yeah, congratulations to Swepson for the and all the best for the birth of his first child. And yeah, I think it's a left-arm spinner. So the Australia, वो थोड़ी controversy थी कि they wanted to practice in Nagpur आज, and they went and yeah, पूरा पानी कर दिए थे, so they weren't able to practice. I think the Indian team will reach Delhi in a few days. The respective players have reached their homes. I think Virat Kohli is in Bombay. Rohit Sharma is in Bombay, if I'm not mistaken. Kuldeep Yadav also might be, I think, and they're going to Delhi. I think they'll go to Delhi tomorrow or something. They probably, because they got test match jaldi khatam hua nahi, to jaldi khatam hua, to they got an extra couple days just to rest up, and now they'll go to Delhi and start playing. If I'm not mistaken, there's some players already in Delhi. So yeah, वो तैयारी भी शुरू होंगे. I'm expecting a slow wicket over there again, supporting the spinners as the tournament progresses. Listen, don't write off Australia. I'll tell you why. The simple reason is that when India got 36 all out, everybody ruled India out, and they said it's going to be 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. India won 2-1. So don't rule out Australia. It can still be India 4-0. They look like favorites because these conditions India have mastered them. But still, I'm saying don't rule out Australia. Third test venue is being changed. Yes, Dharamshala is no longer. I think Rajkot and Indore are the favorites to get the third test match. So whoever was planning to go to Dharamshala, you need to change your ticket and just hold on though, because we don't know the exact venue right now. But they're saying Rajkot or Indore, ye dono are the leading, favorites to host that game, the third test match. That changes things. That makes it more tougher, because I think that Australia were looking forward playing in Dharamshala. They were looking forward to like a better pitch to help their seamers, a bit of grass on the pitch. अब राजकोट इंडोर गए तो वहां पे भी आप कर सकते हैं, but most likely it'll be a turner there as well. So that will be a kind of a setback, another setback for Australia, I think. Moving it to moving it from Dharamshala. It's sad as well. I wanted to see a game in Dharamshala. Like even on TV, it looks beautiful. On the mountains, the ground is really nice. A very beautiful backdrop. तो a bit sad कि भाई वहाँ पे मैच नहीं हो रहा, मगर it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. They weren't prepared. They can't get the ground ready in time, unfortunately. And वहाँ पे दूसरे भी मसले चल रहे हैं शायद, weather ka and all that. So I don't know, but yeah, unfortunately, it's a big loss for Dharamshala, because hosting a test match will be a test match which is going to be watched by millions of people all over, especially with the WTC on the line. I think that's going to be a big loss for them. लेकिन क्या कर सकते हैं, अगर तैयार नहीं है तो तैयार नहीं है उस हिसाब से. We'll also discuss that test match is a quick turnaround. I think the game is in 5 days, the India Australia. So it was supposed to be a quick turnaround, but this test match finished early. But yeah, I think we'll discuss that as well. Any changes from the India side? I know Chirag Bhai is already looking at one change, but I don't think there will be many changes. I don't know if Iyer will be fit as well, so I think Surya will continue to play. So we'll discuss all that. Until tomorrow, take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the Big Boss finale. Enjoy Barcelona game is in 45 minutes. You can watch that as well. And then most importantly, tomorrow, enjoy the auction, watch the auction, and stay safe, and catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. If you're joining for the first time, please like and subscribe. भाई मुस्तफा भाई, एक बात बताओ, ये केएल कैसा बाहर होगा? एक और फेलियर हो जाएगा बाहर, बिकॉज शुभमन गिल वेट कर रहा. आई थिंक अगर उन्हें गोल्डन पेयर पे गया दिल्ली में, दोनों इनिंग में 0 पे आउट हुआ तो उन्हें पक्का गया. ऐसा आप लोगों पूरे कैसा बाहर होगा, मेरे हिसाब से ऐसे ही बाहर होगा. नहीं तो इंजरी होना उसको, फिर बाहर हो सकता. दैट्स द अदर ऑप्शन. लेकिन back KL Rahul one more time. Let's do it. Let's support the guy, and because we can't do anything if the captain keeps picking him. It's not his fault anymore. It's the captain and management's decision. They can easily just drop him and bring in Shubman Gill. But if they're backing him, they see something in him. And even though we're struggling to see something in him, we should try and keep supporting him, Chirag Bhai. But how long of a rope will he be given if he gets a 50? Look, I don't think it'll be as long as recently, because now there is a proper replacement waiting for him. There's a guy who's established now in all 3 formats. There's a guy who's played in foreign conditions. There's a guy who plays the new ball well. So with Shubman Gill waiting in the wings, I don't think this rope will be as long. If he scores like a double 100 in Delhi, then it's a different thing. He'll get a very long rope. But I think that he needs to put in consistent performance. And you can see in his face that he's stressed out about, and he's a bit insecure now about his place. I don't think he has that confidence anymore. So yeah, how long will a rope? If I don't think it'll be too long. Even if he scores a 50, because he has to have consistent runs on the board, because you have a ready-made replacement over there. And the thing is also, he got away with it because the other batters also didn't perform, right? Like Virat Kohli. And to a certain extent, Pujara, yes, he had 100 in Bangladesh, but in between he was also failing. So KL Rahul got away with it. And it's also the T20. If you notice, जो Asia Cup और World Cup गया, उसके वजह से बहुत सब चिड़े हुए हैं KL Rahul से. अगर आप देखें टेस्ट में up until February, March चल रहा था उन्हें, फिर IPL आ गया. IPL में 1-2 ठीक है knocks थे शायद, and injured हो गया उन्हें. The problem is he got injured, then everyone got pissed off. And then Asia Cup, he came back after the injury, he looked rusty. In the World Cup, he was poor, and since then he's been poor. So that is where everyone is getting frustrated with KL Rahul. But just before that, he was okay. He was doing a decent job for India. I know, but now the average is at a place where you can't really back his argument. I was looking at Venkatesh Prasad's tweet. Chirag Bhai, I'm surprised you didn't send that to me. But yeah, I think that was his official account, and he went at it. He criticized him heavily, and he's from Bangalore as himself. So he had a good point. He will be removed from VC, that's for sure, irrespective of how he performs. Yeah, I think he will be, because look, also when he was made stand-in captain, he's lost a couple of test matches. But to be fair, also Bumrah lost that test match as vice captain when he was captain against England. But yeah, his captaincy will be under the scanner. Against Bangladesh, he won the series, but that was close. If he lost that, then I think he would have lost his vice captaincy right there and then. Yeah, I think what I'm saying is with KL Rahul, I don't know why we keep talking about him, but it's fun. It's fun, so I'll do it. With KL Rahul, is that as long as he's in the team, that means it's the captain's call. It's not his fault anymore. Yes, he's not making the most of it, but that is his loss, not our loss. If he's not making runs, and it's India's loss, yes, 100%, but it's not. He's the one who suffer the most, more than India, because I've seen him fail so many occasions, but India have still won, right? But it will be his loss most, and then it will be India's loss. And then when it comes to a point where Rohit Sharma sees that ki bhai, I think he's going to give him one more game, and if he sees ki bhai ne bahut nuksan kar raha hamara, chodo usko, like, they're going to drop him. That's what's going to happen. But he, out of anyone right now, he has the most pressure now, KL Rahul, and rightly so. So he has to perform. It doesn't perform, it's going to be a simple swap. That's how I see it. But as long as he's playing, I'll have to support him, right? I'll have to back him. What can you do? You can't do anything else. You got to back your boys, Chirag bhai. Yeah, and I agree with all the other stuff. Like, if you look at his average, it's gone down. He is not looking confident. He's been vulnerable. He's not giving you the start that you want and everything. But yeah, so that's why I'm saying I think it's one more game, and now you have a ready-made replacement. He'll probably be dropped if he doesn't perform. If he gets a 50, then he'll be back till the end of the series for sure. But I don't know how long of a rope he'll get. Is that good, guys? I think that hits the hour mark. So thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you guys tomorrow after the auction. Make sure you hit the like button as well, everyone who's watching, and whoever has not subscribed, please subscribe. Share it with your friends and family. हम लोग और डिस्कस करेंगे. बहुत क्रिकेट है ये महीने में. Like, so I think we'll have to do 2 shows a day जब टेस्ट मैच वापस चालू होंगे, because वर्ल्ड कप भी चल रहा, तो दोपहर में टेस्ट मैच कवर करेंगे, रात में इसको करेंगे वर्ल्ड कप को. तो yeah, there is a lot of cricket, and please join us. You guys have also give us a lot of good opinions. Your comments are really good. It's always good to learn new things from you guys as well. He should only play IPL and take Lucknow nowhere. I mean, first season they've made the playoffs, so congratulations to him. They made the playoffs, but with that team I was expecting them to go to the finals. So yeah, I think he had a really good team on him, and yeah, so maybe you could say he underperformed, but still, first year third place. Was it third place? Not bad from KL Rahul. Thank you guys. Catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.